Guys, welcome back. This is the live stream. I'm back from Canada. I'm back in the beautiful Kampot. Got back yesterday. It was a crazy long journey. We'll talk about that later in the stream. Start walking, and you can see here this is the market square. I did a video here 3 months ago or something when they were starting the construction, and there's like structures now. It's all coming together. There's some roof there. So this will probably become a big place to come in the evening, and like I said before in that video, a lot of space for food vendors and maybe a little night market that's not clothing but more like event space and restaurants and stuff. We're gonna walk through the streets here and chat about Cambodia, whatever you want to ask me, and I'll tell you about how to be a teacher at some point soon. But let's just see what we see here. There's a pepper store coming up, and it's related to the place where I went to the pepper farm. They have a location in town here. It's not this one, although their products are in there. But there's also, that's it. Keep going. I've noticed it's busier because it's now rain season's over, it's high season. Just noticed cars driving by me all the time, and I see more expats around a little bit, and a lot of them today are speaking French, I've noticed. Could be just happens to be that way today maybe, but. And in some of the Facebook groups, I'm seeing posts from people that I've never seen here before that are expat people. So the town's starting to fill up. Maybe it's always just people passing through temporarily. But. Talkative cartoon. Looks sunny. It snowed here in Quebec, and I have to shovel my lane. So I'm thumbs downing your video. I know, I was just in icy Toronto. Now I'm back. Actually, let's keep going this way. I want to go down the river on this street, and then we'll go up. We'll go back up the next street. Get to see the old streets of Kampot. I know I'm all unshaven on my face because I used an electric shaver and it was dead, so I've plugged it in now, so when I get home I can do it, but I wasn't gonna let that stop me from making videos. Okay. Talkative Cartoon says they're sitting on 4 hot water bottles today. Look at this, some people, they drive a little golf cart around. They're probably electric, those things. Yeah, so here's a place where I might do a video someday soon. It's like adventure tours, and also you can rent out these things, ATVs, and they do water ones too, and jet skis and little boats and stuff. And I'm trying to think of what I should make a video about today after this live stream. I have my camera with me. I brought it with me with no real plan. And I got home yesterday evening just totally brain scrambled. It was like 30 hours of like 33 hours of traveling to go from my parents' door to my door. Check out the river. it's cool weather for Cambodia. Like when I woke up today and I stepped outside at like 6:37 a.m. It was like 22 degrees outside, which is like 10 degrees less than normal. So it's with a cool breeze. So this is like our winter. It gets into the low 20s. But when I was in, there was a few days like New Year's Eve, it went down to negative like 22, below zero. And I was walking around Toronto trying to get home. And hey, if you're interested in becoming a teacher, the link's below. It's an amazing TEFL course. It's the one that I did. So you could follow in my footsteps, and they're government accredited, and they line you up with a job afterwards. It's not a placement, but they have relationships with many, many schools, and every month there's a class load of people that all get jobs coming out of there. So they basically send your CV out on your behalf after the course is over. And that's like a baked-in reference, right? Because they're backing you when they do that. And if the school calls, they have someone they can call and ask about you. Instead of, if you just landed here and applied, they don't have anyone they can use as a reference or anything. So it really helps with their reputation that they're backing you. And they line you up with many job interviews, and usually those schools need people, so you almost get every single one, and then you choose which one you want. Or you just keep, if it's competitive, they'll just keep getting you interviews till you get a job. And usually it only takes like within a week to 10 days after you finish the course, you'd be working. The course takes 4 weeks to do here in the country, and it's every month they do one. Unless there's some months where not enough people signed up, like if only 1 or 2 people sign up, then they can't even hold the course that month, and they would like move it to the next month. But normally it's every single month. And if you already have a TEFL, or you're going to get it yourself, or you're going to get it online somewhere else, they also have a really short program that's only 1 week, just for the jobs. So, and then that one, you go to a whole bunch of schools they'll send you to, and you get to sit at the back and observe teachers doing different age groups, and you can see what it's like. And then you actually come back, and they've given you material ahead of time, and you teach for an hour as a practice, and the real teacher sits at the back to give you feedback after. And you do that like 6-7 times. So this is the street I wanted to go up. I love this street with the trees and everything. There's another golf cart. Maybe I should get one of those golf cart things. You can't really go anywhere on a long trip with that, or go out in the country. It's just to fart into town and back. It's almost like you would still have a motorbike if you had a golf cart thing. Hello. It's a massage place back there. Maybe we'll go over to the Lotus Pond. It's a beautiful, there's a huge, looks like a big lake over here. It's beautiful scenery. I've done a few videos from there walking around. And if you have an idea for a video I could do today after the stream, put it in and I'll do it. What I do sometimes, if I have an idea for a topic and I only have a couple ideas to talk about, and I don't know if I could fill a whole video with what I could say, I ask ChatGPT I tell it everything I'm thinking, and then can you help me add a few more points I can say, talking points, and then it has sometimes it has good ideas, sometimes not. But all right, we got 10 people in here. Happy New Year. Happy holidays to everybody. I'm back in Cambodia. Happy to be back. I went way too long. I went for 16 days. I should have went for 9 days. It's like a week is good, but when you first get there, you need like 2 or 3 days for the time change and your head scrambled. So like 3 days plus a week, you know, nine or 10 would be good. So I stayed a week too long. We're gonna find the lotus pond. Again, if you have ideas for a video, I'll make it today, and I'll even put it up tonight, like, because I'm due for a video. I'm not gonna finish it and then wait a few days to publish it. It takes me like 4 hours to edit it, so if I did one right now, I could have it up by the evening. So now's your chance to have your idea in a video today. Verse says, am I not missing the snow? No, I'm not. I hate snow. I saw a video online recently about Niagara, and everything's covered in a shell of ice. That's like an hour from where I was. Look it up. So we're heading over to a lotus pond. It's a huge, beautiful pond. Looks like as big as a lake. And you can walk around it, and there's statues and stuff. Where else are we gonna go? Someone says, that was a neat video on the airport in Cambodia. Very modern and well planned. Yeah, I know, it was a really short, it was just as I was walking through, I took clips on my phone, and then later I put it together. But that's me, like, after 34, I guess I said that in the video. I was so exhausted. So I couldn't start making and there was a guy outside holding a sign with my name on it for the ride, for a drive inside it. I was just trying to, but I thought, you know, I could at least just take clips as I'm walking. Some grilled pork there, looked good. I just ate. I tried to go to that noodle soup place I really love, and right beside it they were having like a wedding or something where they set up a big banquet tent right on the road, and it blocks the whole road. This is so common in Cambodia for any celebration. They rent like a big banquet tent, like a big white roof tent, and they fill like big tables and chairs in there, and there's this really loud cultural music, and they play it as loud as they can. That's like part of the thing. And it sounds like a bunch of plinky plunky like wooden xylophones, but like way too loud that it's distorting it's making it sound bad because the speaker can't handle such volume output like that. Like, it's like trying to blast music through a subway intercom or something. Plonk 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 plonk. And that was right beside where I wanted to eat, so I didn't eat there. Look, we're there almost. Look how beautiful. We're not even across the road. It's already beautiful. So I went to a different place, and I had a fried rice noodle and pork or whatever, not a soup. It was really good. It was only $2.50. Meow. What does someone say here? How was it coming into Teco? Much better than the old airport? Yeah, it's really huge and wide open, and when I was there, it was really empty. It's like our flight landing was the only people in the airport. I saw one other couple that was there, like you could tell they were on a date just taking pictures. They're not even traveling. Just to see the airport. And it was like my flight were the only human beings in the entire building. And the people working. So I was through in about 12 minutes or something, and outside. Still a ton of people waiting outside the airport. Yeah, it was kind of like that, but I had only one guy go, taxi sir, and like I already arranged ahead of time. So there was a guy standing holding a sign with my name. I don't know, I asked AI and I searched on Facebook, can you just walk out and ask a guy to take you? And I could just wheel and deal in that moment, 'cause I'm not brand new here. And it told me if you do that, you risk that you'll pay like 70. You'll have to pay maybe 70 if you do that, because those guys, they know, they quote higher because they know you're coming out tired and you didn't arrange anything and you just want to get going, and they have been waiting there because they don't have anything, so that you're kind of paying for their time. They've been waiting there all day. But if you arrange with someone ahead of time, you know, they might be able to, because he took me to Kampot at their logistics company. If they have someone who needed a ride in Kampot, then they can, you know, plan it around so that the guy drops me off and then he's here and he can take someone from Kampot and go, and then they don't have to charge so much or whatever. So it told me if you arrange it, you can pay more, like 50 or 55, instead of them asking like 80 or. And if you look on big websites like Get Your Guide or Trip.com was like, oh, you can get a deal on a ride, 15% off. And I was looking and it was telling me like 120. So I found a guy, like I just kept searching on Facebook. And if you search things on Facebook, then just later that day and the next few days, all the ads will be what you had just been searching for. You know how it does that? So then all of a sudden it's all these taxi companies, and I'm seeing 70, 60, and then I'm, okay, keep going lower. And when it's more private guys, sometimes they'll be like it's not a company, it's just one guy and he makes his own Facebook page and a website, and he's like, I'm the Cambodian driver, like take me, I speak English and stuff. So I messaged a few guys, and then one guy answered back saying 50, and I said okay, and then he said, what's your name and your flight number? And that's it. And he said, okay, I'll meet you there. I came out and he was holding a sign with my name on it. And he could speak English and he was nice, and we were like just chatting the whole way to Kampot, and then paid him with ABA, and that's it. Yeah, someone says, are you happy to be back? Still planning to stay there for life? Yeah. Maybe not Kampot for life, but I would. I might try Siem Reap one day. I feel like if I did that, I would be doing it just for a year and then coming back to Kampot, because I know I like Kampot better, but I would like to just have the Siem Reap experience. There's a good music scene there too. Doesn't even have to be a year. Leases on apartments here can be any amount of time, so I can just do whatever I want. The downside, I have to decide when I want to lose where I live now, you know what I mean, if I move away from there. You could almost have both. If I found a place just as cheap, paying $130 in Kampot and then pay like $150 in Siem Reap, and then you don't want to be doing that stupid. I just really love where I live right now. Yeah, someone says they love Kampot, but it's far away from necessities like dental and doctor. But pretty much anywhere in anywhere in all of Cambodia is horrible for that stuff anyway. There is dentals and doctors here, and hospitals and stuff, but it's, you know, you're right, it's we're way out in the country, and it's way like going back in time. Do you think if I rented a motorbike and did a trip up to the Kampot mountain and I skidded off into the ditch and broke my ankle and I'm laying there for a few hours, and do you think an ambulance is going to come rush to me or something? Like, you're just totally fucked unless someone goes by and sees you or something. And again, even if someone sees you, then what? Then all they can do, like, there's no, I don't even know if there's an ambulance. They would send a guy in a van or something. It's a nice spot, eh? So a funny story happened when I got on the plane to come back here. So I'm walking on the plane and I get to my row and I have a window seat. And the person that has the is like a really old man, and the middle seat is his wife. And I'm going to Hong Kong from Toronto. And they were loaded on the plane first because the husband had severe health problems, like he's in a wheelchair. You know, they put those people in first. And so I don't know his problems, but he basically cannot use his legs at all. And then I'm finding out as the situation progressed that he also has like a little machine that has to be plugged in and also plugged into him, and it like keeps his lungs going or something. So anyways, I find my row and there's two people sitting there and I have the window seat, and so I kind of point at my seat and she doesn't speak English. The wife is like, you know, says something to me. So I turn to the flight attendants and I'm like, can you tell them I need to get it? And he talks to her in Chinese, and then he looks at me and says, oh, she's saying like his legs don't work. And then he's just gonna walk away, and I'm like, well, how am I gonna get in my seat? What am I gonna do if there's like an emergency and I need to get out, or what if I have to, when I need to go to the bathroom and stuff like that? And right now, how am I gonna get into my seat? You know, I'm standing in the aisle, the line up behind, there's more people behind trying to get on the plane. It's a friggin' dog barking over here. So then the wife stands up, they speak in Chinese again, the wife stands up and does like a spin move, like straddling the guy, and gets out into the aisle. And then the flight attendant gestures to me to do that too, and like I have to, he's expecting me to climb over the old man. It's like a big old man Chinese guy sitting there, and he can't move his legs and he's like barely breathing. And they're asking me to like give him a lap dance. Like they're like, move, like, you know, one leg for when you're halfway. That's the weirdest part. Like they want me to physically climb over him in a tiny, there's no room between the seats like that. So I look at him, I'm like, how dare you? This is ridiculous. I said it right to his face, like really, and then I did it, but I was like, I gave him, I made him feel really bad. Like I looked at him and like, how dare, this is completely ridiculous. And how am I gonna get out in an emergency? You've trapped me in with someone who's unfit to fly. And I'm like pointing at, they can't speak English anyway. So I climb over the guy and I sit down. And this is when we only knew about the legs at this point. Then the lady pulls out a bag from under the seat and it has some machine with cables coming out of it and going into the guy. And she has a plug and a plug adapter, and she's trying to ask the people like, where can we plug in my husband's machine? And I heard them saying it's for his lungs. I have no idea what it really is, but it looked like as big as an air fryer or something. Looked like that. And they're like, what? They don't know what they're gonna do. And then they had some seats near the front of the plane where they could do that. So they tell both of them to get up and they move them to the front. And now I have two empty seats beside me. I'm in the window seat, and they got that couple out of there so they could go plug in their things somewhere else. So then the plane takes off and I'm like, sweet, I have like two empty seats. And then the lady across the aisle, you know, she would have been beside the man that had, his legs couldn't work, but she's like she's in the middle row of seats on the aisle on that side. She moves over to like, just takes it upon herself to move over and take that guy's seat. But it makes sense in a way because I still have one empty seat beside me, and then the person she was with, they get an empty seat. So it's kind of like when she does that, now all three of us have an empty seat beside. So that's like the best way to share it. So I wasn't mad really. And now it's only been like 20 minutes, half an hour into the flight, and the flight attendant comes back and tells her, that's not your seat. You can't just move seats like that. You can't sit there. And tells her to go back. And then a new couple, just like a regular able-bodied couple, they come back and they sit in the seats beside me and fill them up, because where they said their seats were not reclining properly or whatever. And then they realized, oh, we have two in the back, that because we had to move those old people. So So it's this big crazy story, but within about 45 minutes, it's just like I'm back to being on a normal flight again. Like I'm there with 2 people beside me that are just normal people. So it went from like the most nightmare, like I'm locked in with Frankenstein and I can't even get out, or had to climb over the guy and lap dance him to get in, to next step, I've got 2 empty seats beside me, like yes, on a 15-hour, that's a 15.5-hour flight, to just back to normal again. Like they put 2 people back there again. So we did a whole loop pretty much. We'll keep walking straight and then go down to the river. But now, like we've traveled so far along the river now, we're not in the downtown Riverside. We're like down at the end, right? I did a live stream down here before I left. Then maybe we can come back towards town along the river. And I was worried about, like where I live, there's animals and dogs, and there's a few cats, and one cat keeps jumping in my window. You probably, if you watch me, I'd talk about him, so I didn't like go to a pet store and buy a cat or commit to the idea of owning a cat. It's like one of the outdoor cats inserted himself into my life, and then after a while I started feeding him here and there. So it's kind of like my cat, but he spends like half his life outside having his own life too. So anyways, when I left for Canada, I didn't do anything to like take care of him or anything. But where I live, there's like 15 other bungalows. I was just sure that he goes around and gets 3 dinners a night anyway. So anyways, I was really looking forward to seeing him when I came back, or seeing that he survived or whatever. And he's just vanished. Like I asked my landlord or other people, they haven't seen him, and he just ran away or whatever. But I thought he would stay there because he had other cat buddies, and even though I'm gone, you could get food from the garbage or from other people there. Like, why would you leave that place? Even when I left or walked, he'd follow me right to the end, and then he'd stay in the gate. He wouldn't come out of there. And I leave for 2 weeks, and now he's ran away. So I hope he's back, or I hope maybe he found a more stable father or something. And if you want to help support the channel, I have a members section in this YouTube, where instead of just sending support on just a straight donation, if you become a member just for 1 month, you get access to all this extra content I've been putting up for like 2 years. You can go back and binge all the old stuff I'm eating, or behind the scenes, or locations. And I also, when I finish videos early, I schedule them, and then the members can see them before they're public. Sneak peek. There's a link in the description if you want to see what you get, all that stuff, to be a member. $4.99. So we'll go over here and cross the road, and then go back along the river. Let's just cross here. My people are so nice, eh? They're so friendly and love in their hearts. Someone says, sorry, it's so bright. I just got these new sunglasses too. and they're nicer than sunglasses I would usually get, like dollar store ones. These are actually, they're not that expensive, but and they're polarized. And I'm noticing when I look at my phone, it's just like it makes it look black. Like I can barely read what it was is the credit card I have gets you called PC, President's Choice points, and that you can use that at a grocery store in Canada. And they also have in these grocery stores, they're like super stores, so they even have clothes, and they have, anyways, they have everything. And so we were in there and we're like, we need to use the points. I had $80 of points because obviously I can't use them here, so I just keep racking them up and I don't use them. So I was back, and these glasses were maybe, I think they're $30, but they had a sign saying buy one get one free. But then also I was just using my points anyways, so I got a shirt and a other thing and two sunglasses, and so I got two pairs of nice ones. But I can't see the phone when I'm wearing. I can't read the phone so good. Someone says, bro, I started the TEFL certification and I hate it. You hate it, but they're not doing a course right now. Like, are you doing it online or something? I think it starts next week. It starts on the 11th. So someone else says, hey Tom, what's the average rental price in Kampot for a 1-bedroom? Like between 150 and 200. And then if you really look, like mine's 130, but just so you can find cheaper, but it's like just looking around, they're not all 130, you know what I mean? You'll see more like 150, 160, 180. And then if you're asking about how cheap can you get, but if you're willing to pay, it depends what your budget, if you can do 200 or 250, you could have a really nice, like almost a whole house with a yard and everything. I have a video called the 130 a month bungalow. That's where I live right now. You could go find it. It has almost 30,000 views. It's my most popular. Oh yeah, so that person that said they hate it, they're doing it online. Yeah, online can be there's advantages and disadvantages. Like the good things about it are you can chip away at it in your own time. You don't have to do 8 hours a day and finish it in 4 weeks. Like when you do the one in the country here, it's full days, Monday to Friday for 4 weeks, full days of learning in class and everything. And when people sign up for the online one, you have 6 months to finish it. So you can do like a half an hour a night. Like when you get home from work, or I'm bored right now, I'll go do an hour of the TEFL stuff. And people chip away at it slowly, and so that can be like convenient. It's a cheaper version of the course, so there's a couple of things that are good. But what's bad about it is you're on your own all learning about it. In the classroom one, you're with a group of like 10 people, and it makes it more fun, and you can do your homework together, and when you're doing things, like the teacher will say, okay, get up in front of the class, and like you practice more, like, and the rest of them pretend they're the students and one person's the teacher. Or you can practice games that you would do in the classroom. You can like throw a big foam dice around, and when you catch it, you have to say this or that, like, things like that. Yeah, and then so there's good and bad things about it, but. And then maybe if you get really stuck or you don't understand something, like right in that moment, you feel like you can't ask anyone. But I think when you do it online, they assign you someone that you can reach out to for when you have questions, or that you can do a webcam thing with them. They'll help guide you through it or give you advice and stuff. But with the time difference, I know that sounds like an easy answer to just to say to you now, but it's not like right in that moment you have someone accessible right to, you'd have to send an email and you hear back 2 days later, and then you schedule a Zoom, and that could be frustrating. So it's cheaper and you can really take your time with it, but you're kind of, you're missing out on I guess like the group aspect of it, or being around the other people and having the instructor standing right beside you and stuff. And it's also a very serious course, so it's not just check off some boxes and they send you a certificate. It's like actual learning and work and stuff. Because it's government accredited, and so in order they get audited by that stuff, so they have to always maintain like such a high standard, or else they'll lose that accreditation. So it's like it's very legit. So you have to actually be like legit about being a teacher if you're doing it. What I would suggest is don't be afraid to reach out for the help thing that I told, even though you know it's going to take 2 days for them to get back to you maybe, and you might think, nah, I don't want to be like one of those guys asking for help. I want to like, I want to do it on my own so they don't think I suck or whatever. Don't do that. You paid that money for that. So just all in your head you should be thinking is, I need to complete this so I could start working. Like, don't have I don't know, I'm not saying you do or anything, but just in case if you're thinking that way, don't have so much pride or something that you can't ask for help. No one cares. Like, get them to do most of the work for you. Like, just call them and email them and say like, try to just get as much help from them as you can, and then they'll really lead you along the way to the right things to do and the right answer and stuff. That's what I would say. Don't worry about asking for help or thinking that that'll make you look like you're not a good teacher or something, like, right? Even though it's cheaper than the in the country course, you're paying a lot of money for that, and that's what they're there for. There's someone hired and assigned for you, so you should use that resource and just get that certificate and get that stuff behind you, and then you can start working. It's been like 4 years since I did it, but so there's a chance I might not be much help, but I don't mind, in case I do know the answer or something, you can write me on Instagram. Or I could like tell you what I think or something, and then maybe that gives you something some little nugget of something or some way to help. Someone says, welcome back, Tom. Did you miss the weather in Toronto? No, I really hate it. It was like -15, -20, below zero. Like, just your face hurts when you step outside. The air is so cold. Because yeah, with that TEFL stuff, once you finish it and get that certificate, you never have to deal with that crap again. So any little resource they're willing to hand to you, take it. Take all the help they'll give, and get it finished the easiest way you can. Because if you ignore their help and then you submit it wrong, and then if it doesn't make the cut of it, then they'll say, that's okay, you have to just redo this, then you'll have to redo it. You know what I mean? It's better just take their help and get it done fast, get it done right, and get it over with. Yeah, and that person is now saying, I think it's just bad with my ADHD, to be honest. I need to lock in. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm the same way. I don't like, I loved being a teacher, but I don't like the class. Like, I don't like being in a course either, or going to school, or being forced to do things. Like, I'm a freedom kind of guy. I did the in the country in person one, and I did the same. I really locked in. Like, the other friends were inviting me out to things, and it'd be during the weekdays, like school nights. And I'd be like, oh no, sorry, I've just ordered food and food's on the way, I can't come. And they have a much tighter friend group without me. I still get invited to some things and I show up, but I kind of gave up on that to just make sure I actually finished it, because I didn't trust myself to go party and then still be able to finish it. Plus, I'm like, at that time I was 35 and they were all like 23 or 22. Like, I was 12 years older than all of them. So, wow, this is brand new. Look at this. There's a boat here. This is never here before. and a little dock. I leave for 2 weeks and there's a whole, this is like a restaurant on a boat. Oh my God. Maybe I can make a video here this evening or something. And then I'll have it up by tomorrow. At least it's an idea. Do they go on a cruise? Let's see what it says over here. See this thing? This was never here. You see the guy still staining the steps going up to it. That's how new it is. I can smell it. Smell the varnish. It says seafood meets street food. All day Khmer breakfast. Coffee, cold drinks, and air conditioning. And it doesn't say so, but I bet you that it launches, right? Why would they have a boat? I'm sure they're in the evening, they probably go on a little cruise for an hour.
Hello, Tom.
Hey, I'm tripping out right now.
Oh, okay, so I watch your channel, mate.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
He didn't get that joke. So that guy just recognized me, but he's like, Tom, mate, how's it going? And I said, I'm tripping out. You know, Tom trips out. I was like, and he looked like, his eyes looked like he thought I was saying I'm on drugs right now. Like I meant I'm doing a video. And he's like, okay, I watch your channel. Yeah, I don't know if this is like wet varnish because he's obviously has a paint can and he's painting there. So I don't want to step up and go in there. Just put my dirty footprints all over the fresh varnish, you know, so this will be coming up in the future, maybe in a week or something, when I figure out like when that's starting. So, verse says crab restaurant. Yeah, it said seafood meets street food, so probably, and there is crabs around here. Look at all these little corn husk things. Those are all lights. That'll probably look really nice at nighttime. They're all up here too. It's crazy how they built this whole structure. I've only been gone for 2 weeks. So, lots of new crap coming to the city here. The bridge looks painted too. Look how white that looks. That's definitely painted. If you've ever seen my videos, this was like rusty metal with a little bit of white on it. Looks like it's covered in whiteout. So, fresh paint job on the bridge. Everything's new year, new me. New year, new Kampot. Someone says they're making it ready for me, Tom. Yeah, you're coming soon? And now we're coming up to the beach. Let's see if there's anything new over here. Yeah, that's so definitely painted. Fresh paint job. I think this gate is new too. Like this little entrance with the poles here and yellow stuff, that's different. Yeah, and there's more expats like I'm seeing more white people and white couples and groups of friends, and you know, people like that, they pass through for 4 days or something, and they're doing tons of countries in their whole trip. Like maybe they're going around for a month or something, and they go 4 days here, 3 days there, then we go there, and then we go to Vietnam, and then we go to Laos, and then we go to everywhere. Like they're going around. It's usually what it is. And even though I don't do dating, I have dating apps. And I noticed, I was flipping through it last night, and it's usually there's like no one, or I've run out of, this town is so small, you know, if you've swiped everyone, it's like you swipe like 5 times and then it says there's no people. And so last night I'm doing it, and it was just like all expats, or, you know, it's all, I don't know what countries they're from, but all European and American and Canadian, probably not Canadian. And I was like, holy cow, I've been here for 6 months and I've never seen, I don't mean to make it a racial thing, but just to say it easily, like, you never see white girls in the dating apps, like, or there's like 3 or 4, and once they're gone, you don't see them anymore. So, and I noticed, wow, it's full. There must have been like, you know, all these hostels and guest houses all around there, maybe starting to fill up now that it's high season, and it's all young people that traveling, you know. So yeah, I guess they're not expats, they're not living here, they're travelers, backpackers, and young people traveling and stuff. So I was thinking, I'm hosting the open mic in 2 weeks at Karma Trader. They just asked me to host it again, and I was thinking I should put that in my dating app whenever I have a show coming up, because you might not match with people, but people are seeing your thing. And it could be like, come to and a lot of the Karma Trader, that place where I'm playing, is a hostel where people stay, a lot of young people. So there could be people swiping, and maybe we don't match or swipe on each other, but they could read that at least and come to the show, like a good way to advertise the show to young people. If I'm seeing all these young people in the apps, might as well post when my shows are on there. There's no other way to really reach these young people passing through for a few days. The dating apps is almost what they'll be looking at the most, probably. I've said this before, but if you're just these are like little rocks all glued in, or, you know, not glued in, like cemented in or whatever. And you're meant to like take your shoes off and you walk across. Sorry if it's so windy. And you walk on this with bare feet to like give you a foot massage. And you see people in the evening all walking in single file, like going down there, but it's like you're just walking on everyone else's foot scales, like exfoliating. Yeah, it's super breezy right here. How long does it take to get used to the heat? I don't know, like right now is like the winter. When I woke up today, it was only like 23 or 24 degrees. That's like 10 degrees less. It's usually like 30 all the time, or even in the early morning. And then at the hottest time, it's like 36 or 37 on normal days. And then there's a hot time of year, and that's like the end of March and April, all of April. Just keep tuning into me till then, and you'll see. Like in April, with the humidity added in on top, and it tells you what it feels like with humidity, it could be like 45. So it'll be something like 39 or 40, and then plus the humidity adds another like 5 or 6 on top. That's gonna be just crazy. You never get used to like you still will totally sweat, like your body doesn't stop reacting to the heat or something, but it just becomes less shocking to you. Like, actually, yeah, because it's cooler and there's a good breeze. I'm not soaked right now, but normally when I walk, just my whole shirt would be just completely wet, like. And my hats, like I have to wash my hats. You just completely sweat on your whole body. Like. And like my cousin from Denmark came to visit me here, and he'd be like, "Oh my God, like look at my shirt," as if I'm gonna go, "Oh my God, wow, you have a sweat stain," like. So it's just, that's the only thing that stops being shocking. Oh, my shirt's sweaty again. Big deal. What else is new? And you kind of learn to stay out of the direct sun. And it's good to, I don't have it. I'm a bad example. I don't have anything with me now. I'm not wearing sunscreen. I don't have, I was going to say you should always like bring water with you around. You know, there's people like, you can buy water or coconut or like drinks everywhere anyways. I could put like a little bottle in, a 330 milliliter in this little bag probably, but I didn't. So do you guys have any ideas for a video I could make today? I might not even make one. I need to regroup and think. I've done this live stream. Probably later I'll do a members live stream of whatever food I order. I was thinking of ordering dim sum. But that dim sum is dicey because then if it takes too long to get to you, it all turns to crap. It dries out in the box, or the opposite. It like keeps steaming in the box. It's better if you sit at the restaurant and eat it right away. Oh yeah, maybe that's what I can do. I could go have, because it's too early right now, it's only like 10 probably. I can go take a break at the Studebaker and have some beers or something, and then in town there's a Mexican restaurant that's really good, and it's a little bit expensive because they're such high quality and really good. It's called La Carnitas, I think it's called. And they just started they started like a virtual restaurant. So it's like, it's in the same building as their thing, but on Facebook or on the delivery apps, they have like a second restaurant with a different menu, but it's coming out of the same physical restaurant. And they're copying Taco Bell. So we basically have a Taco Bell now in Kampot, and they're calling it Taco Bong. And if you don't know here, bong is how you say brother, hey my friend, or hey brother. It's always bong, bong. It could be a girl or a boy. Akun is how you say thank you. So often they go akun bong, like think. It's like amigo. Hey, my amigo. It's like endearing, my friend, my brother. So instead of Taco Bell, they're calling it Taco Bong, and it's kind of like the same, not quite, but they're almost, the logo's similar in the colors and stuff, and they took the pictures from the menu of Taco Bell and they used that as their pictures. And this restaurant is like a high quality Mexican restaurant, so even though they're making like quick Taco Bell type stuff, it'll be a homemade version. It won't be the corporate bean paste that Taco Bell gets from their corporate headquarters. This will be like a Mexican restaurant doing it by homemade. So we basically have a homemade Taco Bell menu now, and they even have Crunchwrap Supreme, which is like the only thing I really want. But that's not cheap. I looked up, holy cow, like Garbage Truck City. I can't talk when it's like that. I looked up how much is the Crunchwrap Supremes at that place, and it's $5.75. That's a lot for Cambodia. But I bet you it's huge, and they real beef and or whatever. You can have chicken too, I guess. Holy cow. Get a new motorboat on your motor there. If you're new to my channel, I don't like loud noises. I'm like a can't concentrate. Sensory overload. So yeah, maybe I can I'll do that. I gotta check. It might be, I just realized it's Tuesday today, and it used to be that restaurant closes on Tuesdays, because at Karma Trader, Tuesday in town here, Tuesday's their big Taco Tuesday night, and everyone goes there. So the Mexican restaurant I've been telling you about, they chose Tuesday to be their day off, because it just happened to be the day where everyone's going like somewhere else for tacos, so it's kind of like a smart day for them to be closed, and that's today, right when I want to do a video. But maybe I'll confirm if that's still true. Maybe they are opening. That happened to me when there used to be a ramen place in town, but they closed now too. But I would always have the idea to do a video there, and then I would go there and they would be closed, and I realized, oh, and they would be closed on Tuesday too. It's just Murphy's Law, right when I come up with a good idea and it's the one day of the week I can't go there. So everyone pray that my cat comes back. I asked AI all about it, and not that AI knows anything, but it was basically saying he's probably gone forever. Like he probably moved on. I basically abandoned him, and he went on to find, then someone else, he goes and cries somewhere else, and they start feeding him, and now he's got a new situation. But it said there has been, in those situations, it has been known that you could even see them come back up to weeks later, it said. So like it's also not uncommon that you might see him just start all of a sudden, like 3 weeks later, then all of a sudden he's around again. So someone asks, is there a pharmacy in Kampot? Yeah, there'll be many. I bet you if we just look around right now, we would see one. They're everywhere. And pharmacies in Cambodia, they work just like a retailer. It's not like a doctor. Like you don't need any prescription for anything. Like think of the heaviest, most thing that you would need a prescription for, and you can just buy it like it's candy here. And I don't know, I'm not into that. So I don't even know what they would be called. But for example, some things I see people get is Xanax, Valium, Ritalin. You could just buy it like a pack of gum. And who knows, the list goes on and on. Benzos or whatever. I don't even know that whole world at all, so I don't know. But you don't need a prescription for anything. Trying to see if we come across a pharmacy. They're really everywhere. You could open Google Maps and just type in pharmacy and you'd see. It's like every little neighborhood has one, because when people get sick, they go there often instead of a hospital. Go there and tell them, and if you don't know what you need from them, you can just tell them what you're feeling, and then they'll choose some things for you. But be careful, they'll try to sell you too many things. So say your symptoms, then they'll pull out maybe 5 different medications saying you should buy all of these, and they'll tell you what each one does. And then it's up to you to say, I only want that, and like, most likely you don't need all the things they're telling you to get. Like, pick the obvious, like one that you need or whatever, and then that's it. There's like an Apple store, it looks like. Not a real Apple store, but they have Apple authorized retailer maybe, or they can fix stuff. There's also a ton of like phone shops, like cell phone shops, and they would also sell things like a holder or a charger or accessories. This is a Chinese supermarket, and I went in there one time, and some of their normal stuff is overpriced. Like some of the drinks are like 25 cents more than other stores, but they have shelves and shelves of snacks and like spiced or pickled peanuts in a little bag, and it has all Chinese writing on it. So it's like all the, and you would never be able to find that in like 7-Eleven or like other places. It's like really a bunch of snacks from China that you would never see anywhere except in a Chinese store, you know. And they were cheap. That stuff was cheap. Look at this. I have to literally go in the middle of the. I'm in the actual middle of the road. So here's a dentist. Someone was saying, oh, there's no access. There's no doctors or dental clinics. So there's dentists. So someone says, cool, sometimes I need an inhaler for a bit of asthma, so it sounds like it'll be easy to get. Yeah, I would assume so. I don't know about inhalers, but I don't see why not. Is there any countries where that's banned or something? I don't think so, right? Like in Cambodia, they don't allow vapes. You know, when people do vaping instead of cigarettes, but people still get them. You can still get them, but it's supposed to be illegal. So yeah, I was probably gonna finish her off soon. I can sit at this table maybe. I'm at the guest house where I'm gonna have some beers. And then I thought about, you know, I could kill some time here and then go get the Taco Bell stuff, but if they're closed on Tuesdays, it's the one day I can't go. Then I might just go somewhere cool and do a short members video later, and then spend the rest of the night thinking or planning on something to do tomorrow. Because at least this counts as a video right now. We've been going for like an hour now, over an hour. So yeah, if you want to become a member or help me out or support, there's the link below to try out the membership. It's just $4.99. You could just do 1 month and quit. I don't mind if you quit. Any little bit really helps. And there's tons of videos you can binge there.